talked about twice already this week. This is the third time. But, man, it's gotten a lot of good feedback and a lot of great perspective has come out of this topic. We're going to talk about the law of the inner circle, John Maxwell's 21 irrefutable laws of leadership. The law of the inner circle is one that is super important for you to know about. Let's get started.
It is ultimately important for you to look at your goals, truly what you want to do in your life, and then look at the people who you spend the most time with in your life and figure out if that lines up.
All right, guys, what's happening? Happy Friday to you, man. I hope you guys are having an awesome morning. It's a little chilly here in Pittsburgh this morning for May 28th, man. It's going to be a chilly weekend this morning. Love it, Cam Roberts. Love it, man. I keep getting these lion emojis in here. I know we're making a difference, man, when people start thinking about being a lion on a Friday. Man, this topic that we're about to jump in here into here, the law of the inner circle, this kind of sparked my interest as I was reading, John Maxwell's book over again this past week. We've got the Top Contractor Inner Circle Retreat coming up. Literally everybody will be flying into Fort Lauderdale just a week from today. So I'm headed down there early next week. And we've got, our inner circle, the Top Contractor School inner circle. Everybody's coming, man. And there's just over 50 people that are going to be coming down to Fort Lauderdale. We got companies from all over the United States coming. It's so exciting. And so as I was reading, the law of the inner circle over again, I started to think about just how important this topic is, not just in business, but in life in general. And, looking at that inner circle of yours and evaluating that for who is in it and what are you missing from it and how do you attract the right people into your inner circle. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Stay tuned for this one, man. It's going to be good. But first, as always, I want to jump in and just say good morning to some folks. David Martin, what's happening, man? Good morning to you. Cam Roberts, brother. Appreciate the lion emoji, man. Trisha puts that emoji in there all the time, man. That's one of my favorite things to remind myself on Fridays, brother, and we'll definitely cover it at the end there. Jared Berg, good morning to you. Vicky, Randy, Carla, Tammy. My wife is on here. Good morning, babe. Matt and Joe Rangel, man, up on the West Coast at 4:38 a.m. Shout out to Joe and to Tammy. Man, there's a lot of Central Time people on here, too, that are up super early every single morning. I appreciate you guys being here with me, and hopefully this one is extremely valuable to you. I got a couple messages after our inner circle call for Top Contractor School where I covered this week. And it was, there was some very good feedback on just the reminder of how important this is. All right. So the law of the inner circle states that a leader's potential is determined by those closest to him or her, right? So the question you have to ask yourself is, who are those that are closest to me? And what impact are those people making on me? Is that impact positive or is that impact negative? If I'm interacting with people every day, guys, that are having a positive impact on me, what is my life going to look like in a matter of a couple of years? If every single day the people around me are making a positive impact, what's it going to look like in a couple of years? Probably going to look pretty good. I can speak from my own experience. When I look back 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, my life was always pretty good. But the level of exceptional people that I'm surrounded by at this point in my life in my inner circle, it's such a blessing. It's just unbelievable. And that circle, guys, is not as small as you think it is, right? You can have an inner circle that's pretty large and still be interacting with those people, still have that close connection. But I want you to think about that in your own life. The leader's potential is determined by those closest to him or her. Or put by Maxwell in a different way, those closest to you determine your level of success. Let that sink in for a minute. Those closest to you determine your level of success. So when you're evaluating whether someone is a good person to have around you, there's a couple things that you should be asking yourself, that you should be validating in the people that you are potentially welcoming into your inner circle. So the first question is, what is this person, how does this person interact with others? How do they influence others? Influence, guys, is directly connected to leadership, without a doubt. If someone cannot influence others, they're going to have a really difficult time as a leader, because they won't actually be a leader. They would be more of a manager, right? And we've talked about manager versus, micromanager versus, leader a million times. But that's the difference. Somebody without influence isn't really necessarily a leader. The law of influence says that the person with the most influence actually is the leader. So when you're looking for people to add into your life, look and see, like, what level of influence does this person have? If you're surrounded by people with influence, your influence is naturally going to raise. Make sense? So think about that. What level of influence do the people have that you're trying to bring into your life? There's a couple people that come to mind that I think about when I think about influence, and the people who have come into my life in the last handful of years here that have absolutely changed the game in as far as introducing me to other people that have also helped me just go to a whole new level. So think about that. The influence is super, super important when you're looking at people that you might want to bring into your inner circle, or people that are in it that you're looking at and saying, like, man, I'm not sure that this person necessarily fits in my inner circle. And again, doesn't mean that you're, pushing people out of your life. It means that, you're putting other people closer to you so that you can achieve the things that you want to achieve. Secondly, do these people that you're evaluating, do they bring something to the table that maybe you don't have? I'm not sure if Trisha is watching this morning, but if Trisha, you guys all know Trisha from the show here, Trisha is a critical part of holding things together for us at the Pavement Group, because she brings a complementary gift to the table that many of the rest of us don't necessarily have. She's very disciplined. She's very organized. She's very process driven. And when you have a group of, primarily sales driven people, you need that voice of reason. You need that person that's going to keep things balanced, that's going to, hold things together and keep things moving forward in a positive direction. That is a complementary gift that shines its light every day in our company. And so when you think about that, the people that you have in your inner circle, those people who are critically important to you, their complementary gifts should be extremely clear to you. Third, do these people have a strategic position, or can they hold a strategic position somewhere in your life? If they can't hold a strategic position in your company or in your life, then question what it is that they're actually bringing to the table. Think about that. Are they capable of holding the line for you in some way, shape, or form in your life? If they're not, then you need to evaluate that. Number 4, do they add value to you and to your organization? Do they add value to you personally? Do they add value to your organization? You want to be seeking people out, guys, that are going to help you, that are going to lift you up, that are going to inspire you and motivate you, right? Relentlessly. Anybody ever have that friend in their life that's just like, no matter what you tell them, they got something negative to say back? I like to say you can give them a block of gold and they'll complain about how much it weighs. Those people don't belong in your inner circle, guys. I will tell you that for sure. If those people, if there's somebody that is just constantly causing problems, constantly causing conflict or negativity, or, everybody knows Debbie Downer, right? If you got a Debbie Downer in your inner circle, man, you better be careful, because that person will poison the well. They will poison the well of the other people on your team. They will poison the well of your family, right? Like, you'll see it. you'll start to see the negative conversations bubble up more and more. So ask yourself, do these people in my inner circle, do they lift me up, or am I always the one doing the lifting, right? If you are constantly inspiring others and nobody in your inner circle is inspiring you, you got the wrong circle. I promise you, because the true definition of a great inner circle is a give and take, right? The idea of hierarchy and how that works, and this person's above this person, it doesn't work when it comes to a circle, does it? So think about that. These people have to add value to you. They have to add value to your business. They have to add value to your family. And last but not least, do they actually have a positive impact on others? When people talk to, these people that you're trying to recruit into your inner circle, you're trying to recruit into your life or into your business, do these people actually have a positive impact on other people? Straight up, it's an easy question, right? And I would take it a little bit further than that and say, do you actually like them? Or do you admire them because of their accomplishments, but you don't know, you're not sure if you actually like them or not? If they don't make a positive impact on you and positive impact on other inner circle members, so they're lifting everybody up, right? If they're not doing that, they may not belong in your inner circle. Last thing on my list here that I wrote down that I think is really important. It's also extremely important to have a variety of different people in your inner circle. So you should have diversity of thought, diversity of background, how people were raised, where they came from, what their thought processes are. Their personalities should be different. Everything should have a little variety to it when it comes to your inner circle. If you have nothing but people that tell you yes all the time, man, you are great, man, you do everything so well, you are actually hurting yourself. Because the people that tell you the truth, that give you the feedback that you need to hear, those people are the most valuable. The people that see things differently and are willing to embrace the conflict of telling you, those are the most valuable people you will ever have in your life. The people that just say yes to you all the time, not to say that they're not valuable, but they will not help you grow. Abraham Lincoln was known for this by having literally some of his enemies he kept in his inner circle because he wanted to hear their opinion. This is also a reason why when we talk about diversity of thought, diversity of everything, why it is very dangerous for us to be to not stand on the idea of freedom of speech. And this idea of censoring people is so risky because we need to hear people's thoughts to really be able to understand, and the value of those thoughts within your inner circle and the value of those being different is greater than what you could ever imagine. So those thoughts being different, hearing the other side of the coin. And by the way, I haven't always been as enthusiastic about hearing the other side of it. As I've gotten older, I started to realize the value of it. Another thing that I've heard John Maxwell say is that the more you know, the more you realize you don't know. And the less you know, the more you think you know everything. Think about that. So when it comes to selecting these people that are in your inner circle, choose wisely, guys. These people will be your future. The company you keep 1,000% impacts the future of who you're becoming. Who you will become in the next 3 years, the only difference between who you are today and who you will be 3 years from now is the books you read, the content you consume, and the people that you meet. If you are upgrading your inner circle all the time, if you are, always looking to add more people, to upgrade the people, the quality of people that are in there, right? If you have a home and you start building nicer homes around your home, the value of your home is naturally going to go up. It's the same is true in your life. If you are constantly upgrading your inner circle, and again, guys, this doesn't mean you got to, pull somebody out to put somebody in. I mean, you can't have an inner circle that's thousands and thousands of people, but at the same time, the law of the inner circle, the people closest to you, if you are constantly upgrading that, naturally, you are going to become more successful. So if you have a lot of people around you and the only people you spend time with are people that don't have goals and don't have dreams and aren't motivated and are negative, that will 100% wear off on you. Cam, I agree, man. The people closest to you determine your level of success. It's huge. It's huge. Todd Wagner, how do you meet like-minded people? I will tell you this, brother. I have learned that lesson firsthand by sharing my own message, sharing my own thoughts, my own heart on social media, just like this. And you know what happens? People that are either like-minded or they want to be, they aspire to be like-minded, they show up, man. They start showing up. They look at you and they say, I can relate to this person, or I want to relate to this person. I just had this conversation with somebody yesterday who has a YouTube channel that he's trying to build. And I said, man, it doesn't matter who you are, what your background is, what your hobbies are. You know, there's 8 billion people on this planet, guys. And so whoever you are, there are millions of people out there just like you. Whatever your personality is, whatever your interests are, whoever you are authentically, there are other people out there that are looking for their circle. But the only way you're going to find them is to put yourself out there, is to talk about yourself, like talk about, you know, your dreams, your thoughts, what you got going on, your company, your interests, your hobbies, everything. And naturally, people are going to say, hey, man, I didn't know you did that. I didn't know you were into this. I didn't know that, you know, you read this book. I read that book too. And so what has happened for me, and there's several people that are on here that either, you know, work for our team or are in top contractor school. We've built a community, an entire community, hundreds of people, of like-minded people. So Todd, great question, man. And I would tell you, just share your story, man. You know, whether it's through text, if you're uncomfortable on video right away, you know, type out your thoughts, write down your thoughts, share them on social media, and wait for those people and just keep sharing, man. And as you share your own story, really, really important for you to start looking for those people who are always liking, always commenting, always trying to connect with you, and then give them a way to connect with you, right? Encourage them to DM you, connect over Zoom, whatever it may be. But that's how you build a community, and that's how you upgrade the inner circle of people that you have around you. You know, when we I get asked this question all the time. When we hire at the Pavement Group, man, it takes no time for us to find the person, because our circle of people is so big, and those people are all like-minded, or they wouldn't hang around forever. They wouldn't hang around if they didn't like what we had to say, right? That's just natural. And so over the test of time, people weed themselves out, or people elevate themselves in the ranking there as a result of they just like what they hear and they feel comfortable in that circle. And so that's my recommendation there, man. Matt, in all of your association and consulting groups, do you have a published bibliography of previously read books that you recommend for them? Yeah, man, I've actually got it on an Amazon recommendation list, brother. I'll post that in the comments when I'm done. I've got a whole library of stuff that, you know, books that I've read, and I can post some pictures of kind of the bookshelves that I have here at the office and the books that I have at home. And hopefully that'll help you guys. But yeah, 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. Start there, man. That's a great one. That's the one we're talking about here this morning. So the law of the inner circle, man, is it's an important one. It's one that, you know, the more that you study it, the more you realize how important it is. And the more you realize that sometimes in your life, you haven't always made the right decisions with regard to your inner circle. You know, you allowed somebody, you know, doing the wrong things for the right reasons happens a lot. You know, so you let somebody hang around that probably needs some tough love more than they need some love, because you don't want to hurt their feelings. You know, you don't tell the truth because you don't want to hurt somebody. I just posted on Instagram this morning. My buddy Glenn Lundy says this. I've said it multiple times, I think, this week on this show. To be clear is to be kind, right? And, you know, we have to be careful about, you know, who's in that circle, because it is without a doubt raising or lowering the stock price of our future. And, you know, if we don't constantly evaluate, if we're not constantly finding ourselves around better and better people, more successful people, success by your definition, by the way, not monetary, but by whatever it is that you're seeking to find fulfillment. It is without a doubt the most important thing we can do is to constantly be looking to add to that circle. That's it for today, guys. I hope this was helpful. You know, it is Friday. This is where we create distance. For those of you coming to Florida next week, you will have the pleasure of hearing from Mr. Ben Newman. If you guys aren't following Ben Newman, please look him up online and go check him out. He is at Continued Fight on Instagram, or you'll find him as just Ben Newman here on Facebook. But, man, what an incredible guy. And he says every Friday you'll see a post from him that says champions create distance on Fridays. I like to say go out like a lion, not like a mouse. Put in the work, guys. You know, stay disciplined. Don't blow off Fridays, man. Friday, Saturday, Sunday is 42% of your entire life. Think about what you're doing on Fridays and then how you're doing things on the weekends. I'm not telling you to work 7 days a week, never take any rest. I'm telling you the time that you spend and how you spend it matters. And so you create distance. Champions create distance on Fridays. Go out like a lion today, guys. I'll see you Monday morning, bright and early before I fly to Fort Lauderdale. I will be here with you guys bright and early, 7:30 a.m. For those of you who aren't sleeping in on the holiday, I'll be here to hang with you guys. So love you guys. Have a great weekend, and I will see you